Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Punched Out Thursday to Die For with Kathy, Krista, myself, and Dorothy. And that's where we all take our dies and or punches and create our layout. And I'm going to scrap this picture of my two granddaughters and their cousin. And this was right after the parade, and they got their picture taken with Santa, and he was still on the float. I'm using my Martha Stewart scoreboard to make grooves in my white paper, kind of like slats on the house, wooden slats or siding. And I'm punching out this is a Pebbles wood grain, and I'm punching it out at 1 1/4 inch each on the circle because I wanted to make shingles to go on my house. And the reason I went ahead and done the white part of the house is because I figured even punching out a whole sheet, I would not have enough to fill that whole area right there. And I was right, so it's a good thing I went with my instinct and made the bottom part white. And I'm just going to glue them on and overlap them and have them go all the way up to the top. The very top ones, I didn't cut the whole circle. I needed a little more than a half of a circle, so I kind of eyeballed it and made them a little more than a half and then ran them across the top. And then I am going to take and ink it with a brown ink because that paper is white core and then I have that white on the back. So I thought I needed it. However, I'm going to decide in a little while to use white ink to represent snow. And I'm going to have to go over the top of the brown ink anyway. And if I'd thought of it sooner, I would have been able to put more on that top there where I'm inking more than I would have otherwise. And I would have made it look pretty good with snow. However, I'm going to have my layout together before I think of that. Well, part of my layout. And there's my Cartabella light blue with white snowflakes paper to go on the top. And so, yeah, there's my house and the sky above it. And y'all heard me whine about that Santa. Yeah, this is what I had done of him. This is the bottom half, and I got it done, and that was fine. Then I got to the top part, and I couldn't quite figure out what I had missing because that's what I determined, because I know of 3 pieces that was missing when I needed them. They were super tiny, and I couldn't find them. I figured they got caught on my sleeve and went off the table into the floor somewhere. And I mean, they were tiny. There was no way I was going to find them. And so his beard would come down to his belly on the original Santa, but I decided to put some red there, matching red, and to cover up that empty spot. You will see Santa's head at the end of the video because I happened to think about showing it. I didn't think about it right now, but I do happen to think about it, and I will show it. What I got done of it. It's not finished. And so since I'm using this half, it probably will never get finished unless I decide to make my own pieces and just use a Santa's head somewhere. I'm cutting me out the shape of assembly, and this is a chimney. And I thought at first about making it that big. But as I was looking at Santa, I thought, man, he's taking up a big space here. I think I'll make my chimney just a little bit shorter and bring him down a little farther. And I'm inking it in the white. That's where I originally get the idea. But I'm going to keep going. And that's a paper I got from HSN. And it's kind of like mulberry paper, and it's really textured so that snow was like catching on the raised pieces. And I first thought that I was going to do it all as one piece. That's why I cut it as one. But then I thought, no, I could layer that top part on top of the other. So I'm doing them separate. And then after I glue it down, that top part, I'm going to decide I want foam tape under it. So I'll have to do it over again. Well, just add the foam tape, but I had to pull it up. But that brick die is Tim Holtz. And it's one of those long, well, I showed it. It's one of those long sizzlet ones, and it works really well. But I'm just going to go right over the top of the red on both pieces and then put that other on top. Because if you ever looked at chimneys, they usually have like a cap kind of sort of or something to go around the outside top part. So that's what I was going for, to add a little more dimension to my layout. And I love the dimension that the circles gave to the roof. And once I put that white on there, I think it shows up even better. And I did cut that die with a light gray. I already had a white one cut out and I started to use it. And then I thought, well, if I use the light gray and I use some white ink on it for snow, then it'll show up better. You know what I'm saying? They would be a variance instead of having white on white. And so I went with the light gray instead. And I think mortar looks more like a light gray and sometimes tan than it actually does white anyway. But you might look at it and say I kind of made my chimney a little small. But my plan was to make it a little bit smaller so he would look like he was really stuck in it. And yeah, he's just going to nestle right down in there. Anything that nestles. But yeah, I wanted to have my picture laying there so I'd know how much space I really needed to leave for my chimney, or how much I needed there that I could work with. And this is where I decided I needed to go ahead and ink my shingles also. And I would have put a whole lot more ink on the top part of it if it hadn't been for that blue and white paper. But yeah, I think it makes it show up a lot more, the shingles. And I'm going to mat my photo in that same crinkled paper that I use for the bricks. And I think it looks great for the bricks. They look a lot more realistic than regular paper anyway. And I'm going to gut it because I'm going to make a title that's a little bit long and I'm going to need more than what I got out of it. But at least I've got that part to use. And my title's going to go to the right of the photo and under the chimney. And I'm using the Tall and Thin Alphas from Sizzix. And Tim Holtz one called Wanted, like on a Wanted poster. And I'm going to do the first two words with the tall one and then the next two with the smaller. And see that ephemera laying there? I did like 5 layouts yesterday. And I had those in there with the stuff I was doing the layouts from. And there was one in there that says click, click, click. Well, I was trying to think of what I was going to do for this layout. And I remembered that click, click, click. And I thought, well, I can make my title down through the chimney, click, 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 and figure out something to go with my title. And I first thought about using my die. I do have a die for a chimney and Santa's legs and feet sticking out. However, it's really small. It was made for like an A2 card. So I decided I wanted bigger. And then I remembered this Santa that I whined about not getting it done because I couldn't figure out how to get the two parts together. However, I do think I lost some, moving from the big shot to the table or my sleeve catching on them because there was like 3 little teeny tiny gray pieces that I know they were there and somehow they disappeared. So I think I caught them on my sleeve and off they went, and they were tiny. So I figured I'd never find those. But next time I'm going to set it up just a little bit different when I go to assemble it so I don't lose anything. And I got the bottom part done on him. That's when I started on the top and decided maybe I need a video. I never did find a video. Still, I have not found one that shows how to do the whole thing. Because it is time consuming. That maybe they don't want their videos that long. Not even Sizzix. But yeah, I am going to start to use this click, click, click and change my mind pretty quick. I know that October Afternoon's cream colored, cream base, and I wasn't even thinking. And I went to put it on this white, and I thought, I'm going to have so much white on this layout, and this one piece that looks like a dingy piece of paper compared to the white, because it didn't really look cream. So I decided to use my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter and type up click, click, click. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. And then I'm going to frame it in the red that I use for the letters to make it match. And I wanted to make sure it was square. So I went ahead and used my Creating Memories square punch. Normally I would have just cut it out, but I thought, no, I want to make sure it's square. However, I'm going to cut the red out. And so, yeah, it's not quite as perfect as it could be since I did it by hand, but I wanted the other part to be square. Yeah, I was like, look at me, I'm using the typewriter. I mean, I've had it quite a while, a few years now, and I have used it. I have used it, but I hadn't used it recently. So I was pretty thrilled at using it. Anyway, I laid it down there and I thought, now what am I going to do with it? So I did decide to add some greenery because greenery on a Christmas layout, you cannot go wrong. So I'm going to use my holly punch and my little pine branch punch, and I am going to nestle. Again, I get to nestle my little click, click, click down in there with them. And instead of doing the size of berry that comes with the holly, I'm going to make them bigger this time because I thought I can use my gel pen if I make them bigger. And so I'm going to put them on there and just kind of scatter them, not put them in no little group of three or anything, and kind of tuck them in. And then I'm going to use my gel pen on them. But while I'm doing that, I want to mention that the links for the other gals are going to be down there below, and you can see what they did as a layout. I'm pretty sure Kathy will probably do a Christmas layout because we all stopped at day 12, she kept going, and she's been doing it every day because she said she had plenty of pictures. But yeah, I'm gonna uh, nestle it, see how it's just nestled. It looks a lot better that way. I don't even think I have the berries on there yet. No, I don't. I am going to go ahead and do the bottom part of the chimney that way too, because after I got my chimney up there, I thought I should have thought ahead. I could have nestled it into the shingles because I think on the chimney, it usually has shingles going up the side of the chimney a little bit, and then they'll put like tar or something there. So it'll be sealed all the way around the chimney. And mine just looks like it's sitting there. So to remedy that, I am going to put some holly there and decorate for Christmas. You got to have your outside decorated along with your inside. But a few of the leaves in both places is going to have a little piece of foam tape underneath them to give them just a little bit more dimension. Not all of them, not even close. I think maybe 3 or 4 up there and a couple down on the bottom. But I thought that way those would definitely be sticking up still once they go in the page protector. And I'm just going to kind of nestle everything together, and then I'm going to decide to do my berries in the 1/4 inch punch. And I got a candy cane die that has berries with it, and they're bigger. They're probably about the size of this 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit bigger. And I did consider getting them, but the time it takes, and those are 3 like together too, and I wasn't wanting 3 together. But the time it takes to use a punch and a die, the punch is a lot quicker. So since I was going to make several, I thought the punch would work better. And that, like I said, they're just going to be nestled here and there in the greenery. For years, I bought that Sakura uh, gel pen, and it would dry out on me. It seemed like every time it would. So I bought these jelly roll pens just because they were on Amazon 3 for like $2 and something. They kind of popped up there when I was looking for something else. They know I like craft stuff, so they made it pop up there. Anyway, I thought for couple of dollars I can try these 3, and they're like all different sizes, the point 0.5 and stuff like that. I thought, well, I could try them, and I love them. I like them a lot better than the other one because mainly they've lasted longer, and I paid more for the other one every time. But Yeah, I'm pretty thrilled with them. Uh, I decided I needed something in the upper left-hand corner, so I thought about it. I looked through the Cartabella paper and what I had left of it, but I couldn't find anything that I thought would go up there, so I just decided to make a tag. And I'm going to use black just because his belt's black, and my click, click, click's black. His boots are black, and Rainy's got a shirt that's got sleeves on it. You can tell it don't get really cold here sometimes, but yeah, it's not very cold that night. So they don't have coats on. So I decided to use black, and I'm using a piece of twine, and I think it's American Crafts twine. It says premium twine, but it's tiny. Is why I went ahead and picked it. And I'm going to make a bow and have it hanging down from the tag with my greenery. Of course, yeah, I'm going to do some more greenery. Since I have it in two places, I'm going to have it in the third. But yeah, I'm kind of tickled at getting to use my Santa bottom half that I didn't think I was going to get to use on a layout. And the top part, I think I might be able to make my own rest of the beard and hat to go on it instead of using the parts that I got in there and I can't figure out what to do with. And then one day when I don't have anything else due as far as videos goes or gifts for Christmas, I will sit down and try to figure that one out. Even though I still have yet to find a video that shows you how to do the whole thing. And, you'd think something that, well, that many pieces. I said 57 before, but it's 58 because the reason I said 57, somebody had a title about theirs being 57. Well, they ordered off of AliExpress and it didn't have one of the boots. So she cut the other one out and kind of flipped it. But yeah, hers only had 57, but she said there's 58 because I thought I might as well watch it in case she shows how she done it. Well, she didn't. She's just busy talking about coming up short. So that video wasn't worth watching. I don't even think I finished watching it because I knew she did not have enough time to make a Santa. But yeah, she did show her finished product. It looked pretty good. She did manage to make the whole thing. She did better than I did, even with a boot missing. But yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, I put this title up there. And I made it black too. And there's quite a few on there. I have 2 packages of those. I'm not sure where I got them. I think in like little kit things. But yeah, there's 2 packages and I've used out of both of them. But I'm going to use look with exclamation point and ho 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 to go with the rest of my title and Santa upside down. But yeah, I seen that on there. I went to look to see what I could get out of there to put on there because it wasn't very helpful looking at the Cartabella. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. That's the last thing I add to it. Oh, and there's my Santa. Isn't he cute? And I guess I held him too close to the camera and not long enough for him to get unblurry because he's blurry. But that's it. That's my layout. Be sure to check the links out down there below for the other gals doing the Punched Out Thursday to die for. And if you leave a comment, I'll get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those you already are, thank you so much. But I hope you have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Oh, and there's my tag with the ho ho ho. Look, ho ho, don't you think that's was laying there perfect, waiting on that Santa upside down in the chimney? And there's my click, 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 made with my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter. And it looks just like the one that I had that was cream colored. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. Have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.